All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating play, Lucas Hnath's A Doll's House Part 2. Now, if you know theater, you know the original is a landmark. This play is its blistering modern sequel.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Back in 1879, Henrik Ibsen writes this play where the main character, Nora Helmer, does the unthinkable. She walks out on her husband, her kids, everything. She slams the door on a life that's basically made her a doll in a dollhouse. It was, absolutely revolutionary for the time. This play, Howla, it has the guts to ask, what happened next?
And that really is the million-dollar question, right? What happens 15 years after the most famous door slam in theater history? What does life look like for a woman who just starts over? And more importantly, what happens when she has to go back? Well, the play kicks it all off with a simple sound, a knock on that very same door.
So let's get into it. It all starts with that knock on the door.
And just like that, she's back, 15 years later. But here's the thing, she's not broken or begging. No, she's wearing expensive clothes, she's full of confidence. It's like a ghost from the past has just walked right back into the present. So you have to ask yourself, why now? What could possibly bring her back?
Well, here's the problem. It's a huge one. Nora's spent the last decade and a half building this incredible new life, all under the assumption that she was a free woman. But she's just found out her husband, Torvald, he never filed for divorce. So in the eyes of the law, for all this time, she's still been Mrs. Nora Helmer. And you have to understand, the consequences are catastrophic. As a single woman, she's become a successful, even famous writer. But as a married woman, oh man, all her contracts are suddenly fraudulent. All her business deals, illegal. She's taken lovers, which now means she's an adulterer. And to top it all off, there's this vengeful judge out there who found out her secret. He's mad because his own wife left him after reading Nora's books, and he is threatening to expose her and ruin everything.
Okay, so before she can even start to untangle this legal nightmare, the play gives us a really powerful look at who Nora is now. She's not just some writer, she's become this radical thinker, and she's got a whole case built against the very idea of marriage, the institution she's just found out she's still trapped in. And this quote right here, it's the absolute core of her new philosophy. She says it to her old nanny, Anne-Marie, and it's basically the mission statement for her new life. For Nora, marriage isn't this beautiful, sacred thing. Nope, it's a cage. And she really breaks it down. She argues that marriage turns love into a kind of ownership, that making vows for your entire life is just impossible because, hello, people change. She even says it removes the reason to be kind to each other. Once you're locked in, why bother? It's this total takedown of the whole idea of marriage, coming from someone who's actually seen what life is like on the other side. So what's her conclusion? It's just as bold as when she first left. She says, well, just end it. End marriage. She doesn't want to fix it. She wants to get rid of it completely. She imagines a future where people can just be together without all the contracts and the idea of owning each other.
But, having these big ideas is one thing. Actually facing the people you left behind, that's a whole different story. And that brings us to the confrontation with her husband, Torvald. So when Nora and Torvald finally talk, it is just, wow. It becomes so clear that they remember their marriage in completely different ways. It's like they lived in two separate realities. She remembers him being condescending, not really seeing her at all. He remembers her being manipulative, using him for money. There's no common ground, just two completely separate stories of what went wrong. And this is where it all boils over. Torvald, feeling totally betrayed and hurt after all these years, he just flat out refuses to give her the divorce. He basically says, I'm not giving you a divorce because you don't deserve for this to be easy. He wants her to suffer the consequences. Suddenly, the simple solution is gone, and things get a whole lot more complicated. Okay, so Torvald won't budge. Nora is running out of options, and that leads her to someone she hasn't seen in 15 years, her daughter, Emmy. And let me tell you, Emmy has a solution of her own. So, Emmy reveals why Torvald is so stuck. See, to avoid the shame of his wife leaving him, he kinda let his story get out of hand. At first, he told people Nora was just visiting family. Then, a few months later, the story became that she was sick in a sanitarium. And eventually, he just let everyone believe she had died. For years, the whole town has thought Nora was dead. And this leads to Emmy's incredibly practical and honestly kind of chilling solution. She says, essentially, you die. She proposes they forge a death certificate for Nora. Think about it. If Nora is legally dead, the marriage is over. Torvald's lie is covered, and Nora is free. It's a clean, simple, and absolutely shocking idea.
Well, Emmy's cold-hearted logic just pushes everything over the edge. It forces a final explosive showdown between Nora and Torvald. All that resentment, all that pain from the last 15 years, it's all about to come out. Something happens to Torvald. He reads one of Nora's books, and for the first time he sees himself the way she saw him, and it just breaks him. So he does something completely impulsive. He runs to the clerk's office, confesses his lie about her being dead, and comes back with the divorce papers. He comes back with the one thing she wanted, even though it means he's probably just ruined his own life to get it. He hands her the papers, the thing she came all this way for. And what does she do? She says, "I don't need this anymore." It's a breathtaking moment. After talking to Emmy, she realized that letting a man solve her problems, even now, would be going right back to the person she used to be. She understands she has to fix this herself, on her own terms. And Torvald just explodes. I mean, can you imagine? He's just destroyed his reputation to get her what she wanted, and she throws it right back in his face. He screams at her, "I can't fucking win with you." His frustration is just completely off the charts. But Nora's answer changes everything. She yells back, "There's nothing to win." And right there, you see the huge gap between them. For him, this whole thing has been a fight, a game of winning and losing. But for her, it was never about that. It was about something so much bigger. After that, there's really nothing left to say. The play heads toward its final, inevitable conclusion. The door slams again. So Nora leaves again. She walks out that door for a second time. But this time is so different. The first time, she was escaping, running from a life that was choking her. This time, she's walking towards a fight. She's going to face that judge. She's going to challenge the laws, not just for herself, but to try and build a world where no one has to go through what she did. And that's where the play leaves us, with this huge, lingering question. Nora walks out that door to fight for a world that has yet to exist, a world where women can truly be free. And now, almost 140 years after the original play, you have to look around and ask yourself, has the world changed enough for Nora? Is this the world she was fighting for?